You know what? I had a dream one night. I dreamed that I went home to live with Jesus. Can I get a witness? And when I got back, one of the first faces that I saw was Mama's face. I began to sing a song that I never sung in my life. And my song said, hello, mother. Hello, mother. I done made it over. Hello, mother. Hello, mother. I done made it over. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I had to cry. But he wiped the tears from my eyes. Yes, he did, y'all. And I made it. I made it over. And I'm all right now. One more time. Hello, mother. Hello, mother. I done made it over. You know what? I got mistreated sometimes, but that's all right. Still, I made it over. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I had to cry. I said sometimes I had to cry.
Today we're going to talk about sauce. Today I'm going to redo, although there's not many changes, my Beale Street Red and Wet. But I want to let you know most of the Beale Street Red and Wet is made out of sliced stone. That's what this is. Surely you've seen this at Walmart. You go to Walmart or Sam's, but if you go to Walmart to the bulk section, it's usually there where all the mayonnaise and stuff is. Usually at the end of the aisle you'll find one of these. This is the unit of measurement I'm going to be putting together. So from now on I won't be talking about cups, I'll really be talking about parts. Okay? Alright, so I don't know how many of you remember the last time I talked about sauce on the Hit Me Fred sauce and on the Purgatory sauce. I mentioned a steeping method. A lot of people tend to want to add their slurries first, which are their mustards or their tomato sauce or the ketchup, and then add spice to that. And then it doesn't quite marry as quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a steeping liquid with all our thin liquids, add the spices to them, put them on for a boil for a little bit so we get a good, nice broth. And then what we're going to do is add our slurry. So let's start with a pan. Get a pan with a thick bottom. Alright, let's take our thin liquid ingredients. We are going to be using Billy Ocean. Billy Ocean, 4 parts of Billy Ocean, that's a lot. If you see me wash out the sliced stone bucket out with a little Billy Ocean later on, don't freak out about it, okay? We're also going to be using 2 parts of Aretha Franklin. And let's see, 1/2 part Sardou, along with 1/2 part Chubby Checker juice. But we're also going to leave Chubby Checker's shoes on. Okay, now that about does it for our thin liquid ingredients. We do have one thing that is a little thin, well, it's thick really. And this right here is Jackie Wilson. It's a dark Jackie Wilson. We're going to add that at the very, very end when we're through with simmering the whole process because we don't want anything to burn. Okay, now we need to add our dry ingredients. I've already got the stove on, so I'm going to put this right on. We have these following parts that we'll combine into one part. 1/4 part of Larry Graham, 1/4 part of granulated Prince, and a 1/2 part butt glitter sprinkle rub. That'll make 1 part. So that's what I'm adding to this liquid. All right, so here we go. 1/4 part Larry Graham. Ooh, that smells good. If you look here on the camera, you'll see me pour both of these in. These are not 2 parts. This is 1/2 part of butt glitter rub. That's going in. And the last thing is the 1/4 part of granulated prints. Now we'll mix that up and put it on the stove. One last thing. When I want to cold stop the simmering process, I'll go ahead and turn off the burner. On this thing, it takes a little while. And I'm actually going to use a little bit of Little Richard and a little bit of James Brown to bring that temperature down. As a matter of fact, the quantities on this are 1/2 parts of each. So let's get this mixed up and boil it for the steep. So now all the spices are inside of there. You can see Chubby Checker shoes. And the thin liquids are allowing for all that stuff to be broken down. We're also going to quickly break down the sugars once this gets to be a rolling boil. But we're not going to boil it for too long because we don't want the Aretha Franklin to be boiled out of it. Alright, as you can see, we got a boil. I'm going to move it off. Okay, I've moved it off. And I'm going to add 1/2 parts of James Brown and 1/2 parts of Little Richard. Give a chance for that to melt. We'll go ahead and stir that and let all those flavors marinate in there, including Chubby Checker's shoes. Okay, for those of you who saw me do this recipe the last time, the Beale Street Red and Wet, you noticed that I simmered it. You also noticed that I also did a steep simmer with the spices. I'm finding that I really don't need the final simmer towards the end. And of course, there was a German translation of this exact recipe. The guy ended up calling it 6th Street Red and Wet after an Austin musical street. But it's still my recipe. And he ends up boiling at the end and then scraping off all the froth. And that's not necessary. Actually, he called it skunk. Very unappetizing. Okay, what I'm going to do is I have already done all of my steeping. So I add now the 8 parts of sly stone. This is not the family stone, which is used in the Hit Me Fred sauce. This is sly stone. You find this under $4. We're going to pour that in there. Get our spoon. Does that go in there? Sure does. I'm really going to make a mess. Okay. And a little secret ingredient I always add for good luck, a little bit of Hit Me Fred barbecue sauce. Okay, now what we've got here, I even got Chubby Checker shoes in there. What we've got here is a barbecue sauce that has been aged a day because of the steeping process. It's warm to the touch, it's not scalding. But that steeping of all the spices kind of forwarded the process about a day. But you don't want to taste this and do any adjustments to the taste. You may want it sweeter, you may want more salt, more lemon, whatever it is you want to adjust to it. Wait 24 hours. For the first 24 hours, you need to close the hi-hat up, let this break down in a cold sweat for a boogie night, taste it, make any adjustments the next day. Hold it, I forgot something, didn't I? Time to add the Jack Wilson. Made this funky, we can close the hi-hat up, let it break down in a cold sweat for a boogie night. Don't try to adjust anything the first day. You can taste it, just don't adjust anything. You want it sweeter, saltier, more lemon, more pepper, more spice. whatever it is you need, wait for a day. Wait for this to kind of get its elemental juices going. It hasn't revealed his personality. So let's put this away for a boogie night.
I want to ask you something. I want to ask you just one something. Is it anybody here? Now don't y'all fool. Is it anybody here? Ever laid awake at night? Don't fool me now. Couldn't sleep to save your life. Tossing and turning. Tossing and turning. How many of y'all ever eased out of the bed and got down on your knees and said, fix it, Jesus? Let me ask you something tonight. Won't God fix it tonight? Won't God fix it tonight?